Well, from the latest movie trailers to the latest foodie trends.
There is a classic mayonnaise that brings out the traditional French in 3 levels of tanginess. The mild classic, the medium classic, the strong classic. Tangy the way you love it.
Made with love by Clover.
So scrolling through your social media feed, chances are that you will come across a tasty dish of noodles done in a myriad of different ways, and fittingly so, because noodles with much-loved Asian flavors are perfect for these chilly winter nights. It's the ultimate comfort food, I think. So pull out those bowls and prepare to be inspired by our take on a quick and easy classic spicy tahini noodles.
Yay!
Noodles.
Come on! It's time to democratize noodles. Now, we love the fact that there are so many trends, especially on TikTok and Reels, of people creating these beautiful and often Asian-inspired noodle dishes. And it's good for us to kind of push the boat out sometimes and try something different. What are we making? Chimichurri?
We are making spicy tahini noodles. And I was going to say a lot about tahini, but then I realized that I have not, been to the Middle East. Places. I've not been to some of those Mediterranean places. But I do know someone, and she's right here.
Just luckily for us.
Give us some light on exactly.
And listening to you talk about tahini, there's passion there, there's love involved.
It is, you know what it is? I love food, and I think travel has really opened a world of ingredients that we would never have used locally. And tahini is one of them. I spend a lot of my time in the Middle East and as well as in the Mediterranean regions. So tahini is one of those ingredients you find almost in everything. You find it in falafel, which is the chickpea balls. You find it in their dressings. You find it literally in everything. And how you make it is just sesame seeds that are roasted. Now, when they do it that side, they roast the seeds a little bit more than usual.
So they're a bit
and
darker.
then darker, yes. And also the oils and the flavor oozes out. And then they just, like with pestle and mortar, they just grind it and grind it and grind it and grind it. Whereas we usually use a blender.
Processor or something.
So it's different, you know, where the amount of oil you get when natural blending, it becomes this beautiful paste. So you add a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of oil, usually sesame oil, in order to create this beautiful paste. However, if you make one at home, you can add a little bit of water to make sure that it's a little bit looser. Make sure you season it quite well. And you can use it in a myriad of things. You can use it for salad dressings. You can use it in this.
Just make your own bread, break it up, dip it in. I love it.
Yes.
I love the flavor profile. And here we've taken this into a slightly more Asian sphere. And I'm seeing a lot of ginger going in there. So talk us through what's going into our bowl.
All right, so we've got our tahini here at the base, and we've also got some ginger and garlic, which, like we say, we're talking about those Asian flavors. Ginger and garlic are signature when it comes to that, as well as that touch of sesame oil, just to heighten up that sesame that we've got with that tahini. And then those typical, like we said, Asian flavors. We've got some soy sauce, some honey, and then we've also got some lemon juice. So all of these together with, obviously, the tangy part, which is our Clover classic.
And I think the Asians get that right, the balance of umami and acid.
Excuse me, you don't love me.
You think I don't watch you. You don't think I watch you. But this is the key thing I'm realizing here is you've got to have a bit of sweet, you've got to have a bit of salty, you've got to have the umami, you've got to have a bit of acidity to be able to let the flavors sing. And then, of course, we bring in the tang, baby.
The tang.
So South African.
The tang, I know.
Adding tang to stuff.
And it's difficult to explain to people overseas what, like, the kwetsa, the zing or the tang, but this is South African.
Like,
this is
right? Like it's showing off. It's like Siva, I know my lingo.
No, girl, do you know what I do? Is I steal her intellectual property and I pass it off as my own when I deal with another expert. What I'm loving about our tangy mayonnaise in this case, and the Clover Classic mayonnaise, there really is a range, a spectrum of tanginess to be able to dip into, and it comes in 3 different levels. So you've got mild, medium, and then strong tanginess, and you can use any of it to suit your taste preference. I would go full flavor because that's the kind of guy I am, but maybe for this a mild is actually all right, so that it's more balanced, that it's not dominating the flavors.
Yeah, I think that's another thing people have to bear in mind when you're talking about that umami. The one thing, like you talk about balance, so you don't want something overpowering the other flavors. You want to be able to taste the garlic, you want to be able to taste the ginger, you want to be able to taste something like the sesame, because that's why the sesame oil was very minimal in this recipe because that tends to overpower dishes if you use too much. That's why we've made sure that even with our Clover Classic, there's enough of it that you can taste that it's there, but it works as a symphony with the rest of the ingredients.
Oh, completely. And I think that's the key with Asian flavors in my experience from enjoying. It's taking simple ingredients and combining them so that you get so much more, you know, the sum of the parts, if you will. And look at how that sauce is just coating every single element.
Oh. It's beautiful. Really, really, really loved. I agree with you with the sesame oil, especially when it's toasted. And how you know it's toasted is because the color becomes darker. So you can't use too much of it, otherwise it will overpower.
From blonde to brunette. We like our brunette tahini. We like a little brunette sesame oil.
That's perfect.
Oh, it looks beautiful. And again, we're taking a little bit of mince and we're making it go so far and adding flavors on a different level.
It smells so good, guys.
Oh, this is what was going to happen. You got two flavor queens in the kitchen. This is the result.
Well done.
The perfect marriage. This is the little baby we're releasing into the world, into TikTok, into Reels, wherever it is. Go and try and make this yourself. You will not be disappointed. And with Clover Classic, of course, you also have the added bonus of winning your share of R500,000 Rand in prizes. You heard me right, 500,000 Rand. To enter, buy any Clover Classic custard, dairy snack, fat spread, mayonnaise, any of their spectrum of products, and then just WhatsApp the till slip of that purchase, obviously, to 074 909 0000. And you can find all the terms and conditions that apply on clover.co.za. It's classic, it's timeless taste. We prove it every time in the kitchen. So to get the recipe, I suggest you head straight over to expressoshow.com. But if you missed any of the steps, here is a very quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.